Now, I recently ran into a pretty interesting use case. I needed to not only pull data from two disparate systems, but I needed to analyze that data. And then I also needed to store the result of that analysis and then visualize it. Now, typically, in a lot of the automation work that I'm doing, there isn't a requirement to visualize the result. The output of the work is typically fed into another system, or it is kicking off some other job, right? There's no need for someone to consume the result. So a little bit interesting, and I don't currently have a data visualization tool inside of my tech stack that I really like. So I didn't want to go get another one. I want to try to use a tool that I already have. So I actually turned to Airtable to solve this. Now, I just recently started using Airtable, maybe about a month ago, so I'm still relatively new to it. But I did see as part of some of their advertising that they do have some visualization capability. So I started with them. Now, what I did in order to do this is separately, I integrated HubSpot with Airtable and I integrated Asana with Airtable. So what you can see on the screen are two linked tables. The one table is called HubSpot Deals. That is basically a table that is filled with all of our HubSpot deals. The other one is called Asana Projects. That is a table that is filled with all of the tasks associated with a particular project inside of Asana called Active Engineering. That is where all of our active engineering projects are stored. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to analyze the deals against the projects to get some information out that our VP of Engineering needs to review. Now, in order to do that, I have the two separate data sets, but I need to do the analysis. Now, how would I do the analysis? I'm actually able to do that through the automation capability within Airtable, and then the result, I actually create a new table with the resulting data set, and then I'm able to visualize that data set. So let me show you how I do that. Here, I've got my HubSpot deals table. As you can see, it is linked to another data source, which is basically managing the integration. Same thing with Asana. I linked both those tables, brought it into this new base, which is called proposal analysis, because that's what we're doing. We're analyzing the win rate of our engineering proposals. Now, the result of the analysis is going to be held in this table called proposals completed. How I'm writing out that data is through an automation, a very, very simple automation. If I jump over here to automations, it is just 4 steps. I have a trigger that I had set for every 15 minutes just for testing this out initially. I have a find records function that is basically finding the subset of records that I want to filter on. That is creating a list. And then basically I have a loop. It's called repeat for each in, and then the in is the list of records. Now it is looping through the HubSpot table and filtering out the various Asana records so that it can join those together and say, okay, for all of the proposals we've submitted, which that information is inside of Asana, what is the current deal stage? That information is inside of HubSpot. The way that I can join these two records together is because when we integrate the HubSpot deal with Asana, we pass the HubSpot record ID into it and we store that as a custom field. So now I can use that key to match the data across these two tables. The result, as you can see, the last step is a create record, and it is creating records inside of that proposals completed table. And then if I go over into interfaces, I was able to build a super simple interface with a little pie chart, a counter, and then a tabular version that shows the breakdown of all of the deals associated in this particular analysis, all right here, all within Airtable. Really cool thing about this is you can see your data at rest. You can manage the automation and the analysis of that data. You can see the process data, and then you can also build the interface or the visualization all within basically the same view. You're not having to jump out of one, go to a different system, go to a different application in order to figure out what's going on. If you had to troubleshoot, everything is right there, and I thought that was pretty cool. If you have not explored Airtable, I'd strongly recommend it. It looks like a pretty powerful tool, and I'm definitely going to be using it more and more.